Morning.
Good morning.
Morning too, Liz.
How you?
I'm really good. Hey, we can see Liz.
Wow.
I know, it's always a special day when you get to see
It's a
Liz.
Christmas miracle. I don't have to came in for training this morning.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh, what a crack up. How the heck are you?
maintaining, Gina, maintaining. We're
I
doing
hear
all
you.
right. We're doing all right. We're trying to get our bearings around our schedule between two worlds of corporate America and real estate. We're getting much better on the health track, which has been the big focus this summer. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my. We're learning lots about our health and our family's health and my mother-in-law's health, which was an unexpected lesson of the summer, but happy to have it. And, just trying to be in there and do all the things that I'm trying to do, to help service others and get back on track in that space, which I'm looking forward to the most.
Mhm.
And hopefully we'll get there. Try not to put any high expectations on it because then I just power through and, get myself back into a space, but
Right.
slowly and surely getting there. So that's my news.
Love it.
Sounds great news.
Yeah. In our family, well, not in our family, with my husband, anything that I get, he gets. And I don't mean like I get a cold and he gets a cold. I mean, I have a really bad hip and leg from the car accident. My husband now has a bad hip and leg, same hip and leg. I'm like, this is my hip and leg, not your hip and leg. I will get some weird, obscure thing. He gets, I'm like, and he legit gets it. Like, if I send him to the doctor, he legit has it. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you?
And so it's so crazy because it's like, I feel like it's like when you're buying a car and you see the car and all of a sudden you see it everywhere. It's
Yes.
been one of those types of experiences this summer. And I don't know what I shared with you in terms of with my mother-in-law situation. She came down from my son's high school graduation and was not able to attend the ceremony because she was experiencing shortness of breath when she got to New Jersey and told my father-in-law to keep driving to get to my house because she didn't want to be in the hospital in New Jersey. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Anyway, very long story short, it ended up being that she had blood clots that
Oh
came
my word.
to her, let's say, so they appeared when she got here. And so that was the whole managing of the front end of the summer. Like, what is happening? What does this mean? How
That's
is she getting home?
serious.
When is she getting home? Because they're like, you're not getting in a car. It was a whole thing.
Oh,
And
wow.
then in the course of all that, I've been always, been trying to unpack my own physical, why am I so exhausted, what is happening with me, health for a number of years, thinking it's a digestive tract, just to land on, but finally get some clarity on that I pretty much have no thyroid function. That
Wow.
has
That
been
explains
the
so much.
whole time. And so now I'm all in love with it because I know what it is. And so I can finally get some recovery, but being like, oh my goodness, the road to this finish line has been at least 15 years in the making.
Mhm.
A very slow progression and a very fast one the last 2 years. But to know that's what it finally is, I can finally appreciate this aspect of my mother who used to be like, make sure they check your thyroid because it took them a long time to figure it out with her too. But I never understand how she felt. Like she would just say, I don't feel good. And I just didn't understand what that means. Now that I understand what the importance of this function of this organ is, I am like all in.
It controls massive amounts of your body.
Touch everything. So I'm happy to have the clarity and, trying to power up the energy for the work that needs to be done there. But that has been the summer. Like, I'm just kind of like, you don't have anything if you don't have your health. And so that has been
Amen.
my summer.
Absolutely. Amen.
Yeah.
You're right. It does control everything. And you hit the nail on the head when once you have a name, you have massive power over it. You have
Yeah.
power, you control, you know what to do, you know what direction to go, you have options. It's not this nebulous, I don't know what the heck's wrong with me. A name
Yeah.
is very powerful. It really is.
And I'm just going to say, if you haven't heard it before, be your own advocate out there on the health scene because you
True.
will be a guinea pig. Otherwise, they have 15 seconds to diagnose you to get the insurance payment or whatever. And it's like, it was disheartening, but eye-opening all at the same time. And I've had family that's worked in the medical field for years and decades and told me that. But I thankfully had not had to materially experience it until this summer, particularly number of family members. But oh my gosh, that whole system needs an overhaul. Well, we're not here for that this morning. We're here for real estate and all the
Hear
people.
that, because don't even let me dig into that. And
Oh my gosh.
but whatever, we'll leave that behind. Let's hear some more good news. Liz is fabulous and it's health related. So who else has got what? Don't be just looking at me. Come on, people.
I already went for a walk.
Yay.
I called 2 people last night.
Nice.
I know that's a whole bunch, right? I called 2 people.
Is it more than you called before?
The day before?
Exactly.
Right. There you go. Then that's progress and it's good stuff.
And my hummingbirds have started to come to the feeder that I can look out in the window now.
Oh, so we had a hummingbird feeder. We've had them at a bunch of places. For whatever reason here in Florida, who has hummingbirds, we can't get them here. I don't know why they don't come to my house, but never mind. But there was one house we had it, and we had 2 feeders, and they were territorial little brats, and only one would control all of it. They weren't like when you see on Zoom or whatever, and you see all the friendly hummingbirds and they're all crowded around. Oh no, we have like King Hummingbird guy, and that is his feeder, and then he watches it. And we had to put them far away from each other around corners where they couldn't see each other. So, and then, a different one just took over that one. I didn't know they were such little tyrants. They're like angry little guys. So I'm like, I'll put more in there. You can have it. But yeah, so we don't have them here for whatever reason, but we have every other bird known to man practically. It's crazy. And it sounds like a jungle in Florida, and I love it. Love it.
As long as they don't show up like the birds in the Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Which I haven't seen. So
oh,
then
don't see it.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be okay.
I was a teenager and I was like,
there's a lot of people terrorized over that one.
And then my uncle came in and scared the shit out of me. And then fussed at me because I didn't have the door locked.
It's all good.
Let's hear more. I'll think on my good news. I gotta look at my calendar. I know what my good news is. I have my 3 systems. I was behind on all 3, and we're getting it all systemized. One is now completely like good to go. And if you were on the agent attraction call, and I was on the call, I was on the phone, so I don't know who was on that yet last night. But the system that Gary's talking about, huh? You forgot
all about it.
Get the recording. The system that Gary was talking about, I have that system. It's almost built out, almost ready to go. We had to build it to I use a different platform than Gary does, but that's pretty much ready to turn on. So I've got, like I said, I've got one of the systems completely ready to go to turn on. I just have to do my job so that everybody else can do their job in the other 2 systems, but that would be done by the end of the week. So that's a good thing. Morning, PF. This is a part you can stay muted for a minute if you want to, or you can unmute, but this is the part where we share good news. So we're just going around and you just blurt out anything good that's going on. So if you're ready to share, go for it. If you want to sit back for a minute, it's cool too.
Okay, good morning. I'll let me catch my breath. I guess.
You catch your breath. Who else has got some good news?
Me.
Let's hear Mimi.
I'm making phone calls. Making phone calls on a regular basis. And I actually talked to several people yesterday.
Nice.
So it's not just making phone calls and getting dead in, the phone doesn't work or
They don't answer because they don't know your number.
Yeah. Had conversations with 6 people yesterday. I don't even know how many phone calls I made.
Are you using a system or your finger?
No. I'm using the dialer in KV Core.
Cool beans. So it should have a tracker in there also, so you can track that a little bit.
I haven't found it yet. I just how many you need to make. You have so many to make per day that you set all that up. But I would say I probably made 40 calls yesterday and made 40 calls the day before.
Cool beans.
So I'm on a roll. I'm just I'm determined to teach myself to fish. I have a mantra.
Yay!
Mantra to
I fish.
I'm a great fisherman, I catch 2 fish leads a day and turn them into appointments. That's my mantra.
I love that because I worked with you. Congratulations. Exactly. It's huge. A long time. And Bonetta has previous to this been on what is a nice word to say it? I can't think of a nice word for breastfed leads, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
I was on a
That
team,
thing.
I was on a team. So
Yep. Yes. Team.
I
I
was
thought you said
on
something else.
a
I'm like, yes,
team.
that's the word.
They fed you leads. I have no problem selling my challenge. Everybody's got a thing. And so mine is the leads, and which is the most important thing. So
it's not just you, it's 99% of the industry.
Exactly.
It is. It's the biggest thing if you ask people, especially agents that have been around like maybe less than 5 years, it's always, what is the problem? It's training coaching is one, or they think they're getting great training coaching, but really all they know how to do is a contract-ish. And then the other one, the number one's leads. It's always those two. Always, 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 always those two.
Yeah.
Did I say always?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So
Well,
that's
good news.
Well, this is Kay. I guess my good news is I spent almost a good part of yesterday in Sky Slope, which I hate, and got my new listings and all the paperwork that I had in. Now I've got to spend a good part of today getting my MLS listings ready to go. And then I have to go back and enter those into Sky Slope. But I figured I didn't like Sky Slope and I make more mistakes in there. So I started with what I hated first.
Eat this frog first. Cool beans.
But if you continue to say, Kay, that you hate it, guess what? It's not going to get better. You have to change the thought about that. You have to change your mindset. This is the system that I need to lead me to get paid.
Yeah.
It's all about, you got to change that mindset.
I know. I just get frustrated because one broker set it up and I learned how to do it one way. And now I've had different brokers reviewing the same rentals that I do. And they're asking for a whole bunch of stuff I never did have to do before. And so it's like it changes before me. So I get frustrated, but you're right. It will get me paid. And when I have real money in there, I'll probably really like it, but I don't have any real money in there yet.
Look at Facebook, not Facebook, I'm sorry, YouTube. I love YouTube. That's my university. I like that training better than the Kate Core training and all that other, because it takes it in small sections. And so then I can put it all together. So if you're frustrated with, they probably have some training on Sky Slope, but if that doesn't work for you, I would check out YouTube because there's a lot of different presenters on there and they can present, somebody's going to present in a way that you said, oh, thank you very much. That was good. Can I have some more?
Won't it be good when Gary gets the person set up that he's doing? It just is taking, he's just got to get him up and trained, who will take our stuff and dump it into Sky Slope in the right form for us.
That made my heart sing.
Oh, I am telling you, coming from a girl that can do it if I have to, I'm like, just tell me where I got to upload it. Instead of talking about different ways that what kind of system we're looking at to just have everybody dump everything into one place. But we're getting there. Breer PF, who's got some good news?
Brianna, you driving with your eyes closed? You have a hand?
I know. What is that girl doing?
You're driving with your eyes closed. What's that?
She's just striking a pose.
Oh, it's bright. It's bright, bright, bright. All right, PF, what do you got?
I'll go because she's driving. So I'm guessing from what I gleaned is that it's not 100% good news on directly to real estate, just like what we're doing and making progress, right?
Yeah, it's good news. If it's real estate related, that's bestest because this is a real estate focus, but we'll take good news because
all right, so
it is going
real
on.
estate related then. I am working on updating my listing presentation finally. So that's been one of my roadblocks. I've been having like a writer's block since I joined the group, and it's like, what do I say? What's my unique value proposition? Blah blah blah. So now I'm just gonna I'm grabbing everything from everywhere, including my LinkedIn profile and things that I have told people in regular life, my resume, and I'm just going to put it all there and keep working on it. And the other good news is that I accepted your challenge from 2 weeks ago, Gina, about
Yes.
doing the fast track.
The
And
what?
I'm going to
Fast track?
aim,
Yes.
I'm going to try to do it in 30 days because Michael Usuri said he's going to do it in 30 days. And Vanetta worked very hard to package it all very nicely for us. So 30 days from today is September 4th.
It's September 3rd, but we're not, or second. Yeah,
September 3rd. Yep.
Yep.
September 3rd. My aim is to be complete 100%.
9-3 P.F. Jimenez. All right.
So that's
All
my
right.
good news. I'm excited about that. And that's why
Love it.
yesterday I woke up very early, then I fell asleep and I missed the call. So today I woke up and it's like, I have to have my coffee first though. So that takes me it takes me a minute to get it done. That's why, I'm
Thanks,
committing
anyway.
myself
Yep.
to be accountable to the group. Because Bonetta kicked my ass.
I love you for that.
And now I'm going to own it and stick with it.
I love it. I have 2 questions. What time zone are you in, out of curiosity?
Say that again.
What
What
time
time zone?
zone?
What time? Oh, I'm in the Eastern, like you.
Oh, okay, cool beans. So it's not as bad as some of the Pacifics that we get hit or miss. And 2, what kind of coffee do you do? Is it like a drip French press? Is it the little mochi pot? What is it?
I have one of those fancy espresso machines that you
Yep,
froth
that's
the
what we do too.
milk.
Okay, ours does that too. What brand do you have? Ours is an espresso. Okay, you can tell I'm a coffee snob, and I know I'm going off on a side thing. What kind is yours?
I have an espresso, but it broke. It started leaking, so it's very sad. So I have to like flip it over, find the serial number, and call the company and say what's up. My other machine is called the Gaggia Academia, super automatic.
Gaggia Academia. Okay, keep on going.
Yeah. And I always opt for doing the frothing of the milk by hand. So I always make myself a cappuccino in the morning.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So, all right, now that we have our
We're
priorities.
talking coffee snobs. I'm just going to throw in my coffee maker of choice, which is the Breville Barista Pro.
Yeah.
It's also very
Yes.
aromatic. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
My
Just say
son was a drip, but he drinks motor oil. No joke. I mean, it's the strongest stuff on planet Earth. And then he came and stayed with us for a week during their honeymoon. Well, I didn't stay here. He used me as a launching pad. Anyway, and then he went home because he did an espresso for when he was here, and went home and then called me up and said, that is a deep, dark, expensive hole of coffee. And he's like, do you know everything? I'm like, yes, I do know everything you can do. He goes, and my son's really frugal. He's an investor. He's really good with his money. He goes, what can I do, Mom? And I'm like, they have these little mochi pot things. I forget what the heck they're called, but they're little old-fashioned Italian little silver pot things. I'm like, it's good. It's cheap. You'll get a really good cup of espresso with it, and you can get a sipper frother. And now when you go to his house, I was just there last week, and they had a party of like 40 people. My son was literally in the kitchen going, who wants espresso and how do you want it? And I was like, good kid, man. Yep. So, Bree, you got some good news?
Well, I worked out at 5 this morning,
Wow.
and I didn't want to.
Ah, that's the bestest.
I was like going to reschedule. I was going to sleep in. I had every excuse in the world to not go. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put one foot out of the bed. And then I'm just going to get some water. And then I'm just going to show up. And if I need to cancel it was literally that struggle. And after I did it, I was like, you know what? I need to remember this struggle in the rest of my life.
Ah, that is a very good life lesson.
Mhm.
Just one foot
Because
out.
you know, I'm struggling right now just in everything. And I was like, you know what? I just need to, and this whole week, this past 2 weeks has been like, I'm going to break it down. I've been making some calls. I haven't been getting all 10, but they're better than none.
Yep. Just like Kathy, 2. She didn't make any last year. Day before she made 2. Exactly, 2. It's okay. Bree, it's 1 foot out of bed.
And because of that, I've gotten 2 buyers. And so then I'm like, if I just by doing the 1 foot. So I'm like, so when I do the 10 calls, you know, so I'm really trying to look forward.
I love that. This is some of the most amazing news all day or all week, y'all. So I love this part. We just lost Pia. I think he put 1 foot out of bed. Not real sure right there. But anyway.
Went to get more coffee.
Exactly. And it's too bad because I kind of want to dig into his listing presentation one that he said, because I thought that was a really interesting one.
I have a question. If he doesn't come back.
Bring it on. What do you got, Kath?
You know, the KV Core thing and doing the Facebook ads and you get the leads. Can you like refer those leads to somebody else so they actually get called? Maybe I can get money that way.
Okay, so this is a good question. And here's why I love this question. When I was, I'm going to answer you in a long way. When I was a team leader in San Francisco and I gave them my notice and I gave them 3 months and they asked for a year and I gave them 9 months. I told him, I'm like, I'm going to build another business while I'm here. I will not compete with the agents. You cool with that? And he basically was like, I don't really care what you do, just stay. I was like, fine by me. So I literally built my other business. My other business was a lead generation business. So I lead generated in Stockton and Modesto. It's like an hour and a half, 2.5 hours away from where the office was. So there's no competition. Nobody in San Francisco. They were way too snobby to drive to Stockton, trust me. Anyway, which is an economically depressed area. So I lead generated there, and then I just sold the leads. And what I did was I set the appointment. You would not be doing that. You would just have the lead. But I sold the actual appointments and agents clamored for them. And I just set up a new business doing it here again in Florida. I have my referral partner, built up the back end on Trello. I have to, we've got the referral forms already built in, already completely auto-populated with everything except for the address, because that will pop up with the people. I'm going into Really Flow. I'm grabbing the list. I have no interest in serving clients in that manner. And the way that I look at it is I could either, I'm selling the appointment for 35%, the listing side. Buyers, I'll do 25 because I'm not going after that anyway. I'm only going after the listings. If we get one, we get one. I don't care. But I'm selling the appointment for 35%. And I would rather get 35%. I would rather work 6 hours to 8 hours a week and get 35% of a deal than work 40 hours a week and get 100% of a deal. To me, that math works all day long. So I would say, why not? I would hook up with a referral partner that was interested. You'll need to, if you're going to be doing it as a referral, 2 things. You're going to need somebody that you can trust or a system you can trust, like somebody in EXP or something like that. But you need somebody you can trust because it's very ishy when you're handing out referrals. If the person's not trustworthy, good luck, because it's just you'll have a very hard time getting paid if the person's not trustworthy. Now, I'm not saying that it happens all the time. It just could. The propensity is there. There's no way to track it. There really is no way to track it. That's the first one. And then the second one is, the person's got to be able to close, because if they can't close, so what? So it doesn't matter if someone's going to pay you 50%. I'm like, if you can't close, so that's the conversation I have with this couple. They're referred to me by 8 other people. So I'm like, all right, that's really good. But I'm like, dude, if you can't, I'm tracking your rates. And if you can't close, moving on. Because it doesn't matter. It's I look at it as this is my business that I'm handing you. You have to go close it. If you can't close it, that is my business and my money that I spent, not just some bonus I'm giving you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think I'll have to talk more about all this.
You can track it because you have to have them to sign a referral form, and it has to be signed by not only the person you refer to, but also their broker.
Yep.
So
Yes, it does.
it can be tracked. And if it doesn't, if they don't pay you, because you can also track when it closes. And if you don't get paid a certain amount of time, and that's also on the form that they have to pay you within 3 days or 7 days, you have to designate. If they don't pay you, then you can go to the board about that.
It's easy to
Don't go to
track
the
on
broker
the,
first.
it's easy to track on the listing side. It is very hard to track on the buyer side. Other than staying in contact, you're right, legally they have to. I'm just saying, I've seen as a team leader twice, I've seen, and it's a person who had referral businesses, I've had to fight on occasion for my stuff from yes.
But let me ask you a question.
Track on the buy side.
Do you have access to the MLS? Because if it closes, you can see in there whether or not it closes. Did you, as the owner of the company, have access to the MLS?
It wasn't not that MLS, but it's not, again, it's not the listing side, it's the buyer side. When you refer a buyer out, that's very hard to track. Now,
I don't understand. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't understand how it's hard to track if you can tell when the
you don't know the address they're buying. A lot of times when you refer a buyer out, I'm referring, Kathy, would you please work with Bonetta as a buyer, whatever house she buys within a year, I want to get paid. And that's very hard to go into the MLS and see what you've bought without looking at every single transaction and who the buyer side is.
So, okay, so you're talking about just referring these out. You don't refer particular address to the buyer. Okay.
Yeah.
Very often.
Okay.
So yeah, so you and I can talk much further, or does anyone else have any input on?
I've done both, and I just.
Yeah, it's
I don't.
It's pretty simple, like what Gina's saying. It's just, okay, I'm the buyer. I want to buy a house. Gina has sent me to you, and I don't know where that house is. I just know that I need to have a house, and it's got to be this much money. And I'm trying to find one, put offers on ones that don't get accepted, back and forth, whatever. You don't know when you're going to get a lead that actually works and closes or not.
I see what you're saying now, but I've done both referrals, but I do also work with people who I knew I could trust.
Right. Bingo, and you're honest yourself.
I did refer a buyer to somebody in Richmond. I'm in Northern Virginia. Well, I'm in Fairfax, and they were in Richmond. I didn't know the guy. That's when I was in KW, and I referred him to a buyer client that I had up here that wanted to move down there. And he kept me in touch. He had to sign a referral form. He kept me in touch. And then when they closed, but the other thing is I stayed in contact with that couple too.
Bingo. That's the other part of it.
I stayed in touch with that couple saying, oh, how is Jeremy? I'll just give him a name. I can't remember his name right now. How is Jeremy's service with you? Oh my God, he's wonderful. Thank you so much for referring. How's it working out? Y'all seeing some offers? Oh yeah. And we put an offer in such and such. Okay.
Yep.
Y'all see my eyes? I kept in touch with those people so that, and I mean, it wasn't an issue, but it wasn't somebody that I knew. That's why I was like confused at first when you said that. But then you're right. If it's a listing, you go into MLS and see what is copious of a buyer. You can't do that. You're absolutely right. Because
you're a bit blind. Yep.
But
right, y'all.
I've done both, and but I was just lucky, I guess.
You're honest, and it worked out, and you stayed in contact. Kay's got a question on educating a first-time home buyer. Was that what that said down there?
Yeah, I've got a guy, my lead that I just listed, and I don't think he quite understands the home buying process. And that, I'm trying to get him to either show me that he's got cash in the bank, which he's very easy. He runs a cash business, so he's very protective about that. And he doesn't want to work with a mortgage company. So I'm trying to figure out how to get him a pre-qual letter so he could make an offer. And I wanted just a simple piece that says, here are the steps that you have to do. And, this is a contingency, and this is, cash offer. And if there any kind of an educational piece that explains those and the strength of different kinds of offers that's ready-made versus me having to do one.
Do you have KCM? Are you
Keeping Current Matters?
Yeah. Do you subscribe to Keeping
No.
Matters? because they have a buyer's buyer's book, buyer's catalog that explains all the steps. If you email me, I'm a KCM subscriber, so I can download it and I can just send it to you.
Oh, that'd be great. Yes, I will do that.
Do you have Breakthrough Broker? Do we have access to Breakthrough Broker?
Exactly.
Not that I know of. I think Gary has on the free books, the first time home buyer or buying a home and selling a home, 2 books also, but I have not really looked
He
at
has
them.
something like that. He has something like that on my investments too. Gary does have.
Yeah,
something.
there's a piece, I think I have it. I'll look for it and send it to you if I do. On Breakthrough Broker is the platform, and they literally have, it's a 1-pager that walks you through every step of the home process and what it entails. And then if you need to do a deep dive somewhere else, like it'll give you, you could probably find some resources to where to do the deep dive. But it literally is, I hand it out with my buyer's presentation and say, this is what the process looks like, because they can't see it in a book, a big book. They're already overwhelmed with all the words, but it's literally a 1-pager that says, and it's in circle. It says, this is the wheel.
The graphic
step. Yeah, it's a graphic circle with just, this is the step, this is the bullet point that applies to it. Boom.
That
boom.
would be great. I just, like I said, this guy he's Spanish by primary language. He keeps telling me that he understands everything I'm telling him, but then he keeps talking about, I need to sell my house quick and I've got to buy another one. And then it's like, well, we got to get cash. We got to get you pre-approved. He said, no, I'm going to buy cash. I'm going to cash. And then we go around this circle over and over and over again. So I'm figuring I need to give him something in black and white, because what I'm saying doesn't seem to be getting through. And I've tried to say it a couple of different ways. So
I have a paper copy that I know I have that I'll scan and I'll send to you. I don't know if I have the electronic version readily available because it's been a while.
Anything you can send me would be great. That'd be good. And my email, I put it in. It's just k.peck@exprealty.com. Anything would be appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's also this. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah. Exactly. This
EXP on
That's it.
This is a wheel on EXP on the enterprise. There's buyer presentations on there, seller presentations on there, and this is part of my. I don't know if
You can see it if it's when you're got the green screen. If you put stuff up close to your face or body, you can see it. If you try and do that,
okay, wait a minute.
computer can't see it, so you can totally see it.
Okay, home buyer process.
Oh, Vanetta, you hold this. There you go. Even Vanetta disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
This.
I got to figure out how to get into enterprise and dig into some of the stuff. I don't know it very well.
Okay, you want to go into the marketing tab.
Marketing. Okay.
On enterprise.
Okay.
They have buyer presentation that they already have one. They have a, what do you call it? A draft, if you will. No, they have one. It's a simple one, but I've added pages to it. But this definitely is in there. This wheel tells you about where's over here. Okay, the process. This wheel, it tells you the steps.
Okay. So I would go into like EXP Enterprise.
EXP Enterprise, and then in Enterprise, you have several different.
And not the world, the same place where Sky Slope is.
Exactly.
That one. Enterprise is where Sky Slope is, my revenue share, those kinds of things. The world is moving your little guy around.
And when you go into Enterprise, you're going to go into the Marketing Center.
Okay, but if I just type in, EXP Enterprise, I can get to it. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know how to get into it. I don't know where to go to start.
Can I?
Okay, can you get into the world?
Right there?
Yes, I can get into the world.
Go into the world and go into tech and tell them you need if you have to get a link for enterprise. That's going to be, I would think, okay, hang on.
I think it's under my applications, EXP Realty, my applications.
Or you can just do expenterprise.com and it should get you to a page that says sign into enterprise.
Okay.
Like a you hit sign into enterprise, you put in your email address and whatever your password is that you've made up, if you have this already set up. Like if you already have access to this.
I don't know if I have enterprise set up. I'll figure it out. And if not, I'll
Go to the world first.
Enterprise and most of them, enterprise and the other things that you use with the EXP, usually it's the same password. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's EXP password. But you get into SkySlope, right?
Yeah, I have that set up automatically. It's just there.
Oh, okay. It would be the
Yeah.
same email.
You
and
cheated and now you're screwed.
Yeah.
can I show you something real quick?
Yeah.
Something?
Are you going to screen share?
She is. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I have mine saved on my desktop.
Oh, wow. I like that.
So here
Yeah, I said,
is
yeah.
Enterprise, EXP Enterprise.
Okay.
And I just have, it says my dashboard EXP. I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's the place right there.
Thanks,
It
Rita.
just went and looked.
exp.okta.com. This is Enterprise.
Yeah, and PF has it down here in the chat box too.
Okay, great.
And then get you in. Perfect. All right,
Okay.
y'all. Nice.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool beans. All right, you guys. We're
There it
running.
is. Go,
Right.
Pierre.
Gotta go.
Like, okay, hang on. That's our little reminder all the time that Benetta rings for us to go home. One last thing, because you reminded me of this, and I know PF's putting together his listing presentation. When you have stuff in print, there's a huge generation of us that think, oh my gosh, this is in print, so it's real and I got to do it. So I used to use that trick. Younger, if it's on here, it's real. So use that trick and develop things once you can get to the point where you can work on your business instead of just in your business. Like one of my articles that I wrote, the 10 things you have to ask every listing agent before you list. Must ask every listing agent before you list. That was my article. I wrote it. And I'd be on listing appointments and people would quote it because it was printed in the newspapers and all over the place. But I also brought it in on my listing appointments. And I could recognize when they started asking me their list of questions, about 3 questions in, and I'd be like, inside, I'm like, ha, that's mine. But of course, it's tailored to exactly who you are. For instance, you don't ever want to work with a team. At that time, I was a single agent because, you'll just get handed up, blah, blah. Or when you are a team, you don't ever want to work with a single agent. You want to make sure they have a team. So it's specialized. You've got better, blah, 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 blah. So take your stuff like that, hone it to you and use it, because people really do. This is powerful for stories, but this is really powerful for must-do step process things, is both of these. So younger, older, and I would say the line of demarcation is probably 50 or maybe somewhere around there. 50 and below thinks this is more real, maybe 40 and below, definitely. And then above is probably going to be here. And my generation's right in the middle. We're a crapshoot. So, all right, y'all. This was a great meeting. PF, welcome. I don't know what the hell that is.
That is a filter.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about
the Mogi Pot. Okay.
Oh,
yeah. It was that one thing, and I'm like, not sure.
And then this is the old fashioned. When I was a little kid, that's how we used to make coffee in Dominican Republic. And I found one. So I make coffee in different ways in different times, because just to change it up. And I also have like a
Republic. It's real. Yes.
Look at you. I love it.
And I also have a drip coffee maker, like a coffee stand when I have a
gold
party.
filter. You need a gold filter for that drip coffee maker. I got one of those too.
Yeah.
One of these?
I've got the French press, the drip.
Yeah.
I got a French press.
The drip and the Breville. That
God.
my hands down.
Okay. French press and Nespresso are my 2. I don't think I have anything else. Camping, they have filter like tea bag coffee, and that's a savior on camping trips. But okay, go on. Nespresso makes a one that will plug into your car and makes one Nespresso. I don't know how this magic works, but I swear to God, I'm buying one for traveling.
Wow.
The pods with Nespresso, right?
Pardon me?
Did you do the pods with Nespresso?
I do.
Yeah, see, I'm not really doing the individual pods.
Yeah, the environment.
I want a vat of coffee that I can just, be with all day.
I've been having fun with that percolator thing that you stick on the stove.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old fashioned percolator. That's what my grandma always had. 24/7 coffee was running in our house 24/7. As little kids, we got coffee, but it was warm milk, sugar, and coffee.
It works.
So like mine.
Yeah.
Huh. But we were
It'll work.
totally indoctrinated. And the beauty of it is, and so everybody was like, when I was a kid, it was cold in Washington State. So I always had a cup of coffee at the bus stop. And then when the bus came, I put it in the tamarack bush. My mom was livid because it would be, you could bury it in there and it would be like 15 cups of coffee, empty cups in the tamarack bush. And I had to go clean it out every occasional. But people were like, you drink coffee? And then my kids gave them coffee. People were like, you give your kids coffee? Their kids get coffee. And then I find out that if you're ADD, coffee is like this is the best thing you could ever do on planet Earth. And I'm like, that's right. It might cause it. I don't know, but whatever.
Have you ever tried mushroom coffee?
No, but I've heard of it. I've done bullet coffee.
I've done bullet coffee. Mushroom coffee is delicious.
Mushroom is?
My daughter likes it.
Is it got caffeine?
They have caffeine, and I'm a decaf drinker, so I had to switch to decaf for many reasons. But yes, you can get it in caffeinated or decaffeinated, and it's
There's a bunch of kinds.
yeah, there's a bunch. Bulletproof is the bulletproof coffee. What is the gosh, what's the one? I'm gonna have to bring it to you next time because
Bring it to me tomorrow.
escaping to me.
Oh, that reminds me. And we're seriously late, and I'll let you guys go. PF on Fridays, on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we do a mastermind. So it's literally good news. What are your challenges? And we just all sort of pitch in on the challenges, which is cool and I love. On Friday, I always shake it up a bit. Could be anything. Have no idea. And we've done all different kinds of stuff. So who knows what we'll do tomorrow? I never know until tomorrow, but it'll be good. Thank you for coming.
Thank
I
you
know.
for having me. Thank you for
Thanks.
making sure that we all got the invitation.
That's right, because we had to redo it because we forgot to do it one day. All
Yeah,
right.
I got the emails and I got the text messages. So
Cool.
I was like, I cannot escape. Let's go.
Cool. Yeah. So, all right, you all have a fabulous Thursday.
Have a great
Thank
one,
you
you
all.
guys. Bye.
Thank you.
I got to tickle my throat.